This episode of the Esoteric Order of Roleplayers is brought to you by the generosity of our backers on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/esotericrp to find out how you can become a backer too. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up with all the latest news, and join our Discord community to chat with players and fellow listeners. The Esoteric Order broadcasts from Santa Fe, New Mexico. We recognize these episodes are produced on the traditional territory of the Tewa-speaking Pueblo peoples, and we acknowledge their community, their ancestors, their elders both past and present, and future generations.
Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers present Guthormr, a Palladium story, with David Larkins as the Game Master.
Well, as I was saying before I hit record, I lost my notes. So we're going to be kind of just riffing off of my foggy memories and whatever the hell curveballs you want to throw my way. But, you know, that's how we roll around here.
That's
anyway.
right.
So where do you remember us leaving off? If only I had recorded the last session, I could have gone back and listened. Oh, wait, I did.
I know. I thought the same thing. I was like, I should go back and listen to that session. And then, like, of course, time got away from me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I should go back and listen to the first 20 minutes of that session.
I remember most of it. I just the precise note we left off on.
Yeah, I do remember. I remember actually quite a bit, considering It's been 2 weeks. I remember almost everything.
Great.
Which is highly unusual.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment then.
Yeah. Yeah, so, wow, last session. Okay, so much happened. Well, we ended up in this town called Badland.
Sorry about that, by the way.
Oh, no, I loved it. Still love it.
I was telling Alex about it, and he was just like, oh my God. He's like, you're a braver man than I. Just presenting that with a straight face. I'm like, oh.
Well, you know what? If you're like, it's called Badland. Like, I have no point. I have no choice but to like respect the shit out of that. I'm like, okay, that's what it's called.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's like one of those towns with like a really accidentally inappropriate name. You're just like, oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, okay, you know what? Someone is feeling it.
Someone lives in the village of Nether Wallop, and they're okay with it. So
that's right. So yeah, ended up in Badland.
Mm-hmm.
On the way there was a ton of religious idols, and we ended up leaving a couple bucks. I'm trying to burn through all my cash because I want to be penniless and equipmentless as soon as possible. So yeah, but that ended up not being the case. So we get to Badland. We ended up meeting the Fox Sheriff of Nottingham from the animated Robin Hood.
That's right. Guthormr.
Exactly.
Yes.
Who he didn't really give me any gruff, wink, wink, but he did. I went into the bar. There's a bunch of orcs and ruffians with viper tattoos. There's apparently one of 3 thieves guilds or gangs in the area. One of the first and most prominent looks like the Vipers, and then we also have the Misfits, and then the other one was the Gentlemen's Society.
Yep.
And while I was in there having a drink at Jenny's, I asked the elf if he was Jenny. And then the lady from the new Resident Evil came in. The large lady from Resident Evil came in.
Right.
And she was also not Jenny. She was Her name is Alyssa Bad.
Yeah.
And she took me to this very ritzy hotel called the Dragon's Den, which I suspect a bunch of gentlemen's society members hang out. And there was a rather fetching goblin there. And we discussed a job that she had for me because she had heard of my ability, my renown as a monster hunter. And she had wanted to hire me to find a worm of tout. Am I saying that right?
Yes. Yep.
Which is like a 20-foot long dragon kind of creature, worm with a WY.
Yes, of course.
And it has stubby arms and legs and a human-like head. Ran off into the mountains about 5 days ago. She wants me to track it, and she wants me to blow into a whistle. And that's all she wants me to do. And she's prepared to pay me an exorbitant amount of gold, some 20,000 gold or something ridiculous, just to do this.
Yep.
And it was too insane that I had to say yes. And then I took some food and cheese and bread and I left. I do have a room there, which I'll retire to at the end of the night. But before sleeping, I decided to check out the town. So I went around and I ended up meeting this little ratling character named Pinch. And he took me to the inner circle, or the hideout of the Misfits Thieves Guild. And there was a gnome of the garden variety, some kind of humanoid red panda creature called a Kenkaron, an animated scarecrow who is my favorite of the bunch, and then a very large fox cat hybrid character called an Emirian. I think it's probably like a pet. And then maybe, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, you can draw your own conclusions.
Yeah, I'll call it my pet, I guess. And then I left. They wanted to pay me a salary to be their muscle. And being a kind of Han Solo-y type, I was like, well, yeah, you can go ahead and pay me, and but before like signing on, you know, like I'm gonna go check out these other gangs. They tell me about the leader of the Viper gang, some orc shaman named Hellfire.
Yep.
I went back to Jenny's bar and ended up roadhousing the shit out of two guys. I didn't rip their throats out yet.
Not yet.
I'm working up to
Save
that.
Yeah.
That'll be my character arc. I'll die doing it. The Viper gang, full of really bad people. They worship the god of trickery. They do murders. They do kidnapping. They do torture. It doesn't really bother my character, Guthormr, but you know, he's really just after the coin. But anyways, he went in there and he started asking about Hellfire. They got upset that I knew Hellfire's name. I beat the hell out of them, and then I took one to the ground and I screamed, "Take me to Hellfire!" And that's where we left off.
Excellent. All right, good.
Minimal use of notes there.
Wow. Well, that's good. I remembered most of that myself. I genuinely, including you beating the shit out of them, but I'd forgotten that little tagline at the end there. So that's good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a ridiculous number of attacks. That's and right. They're mostly all roundhouse kicks because that just happens to be like the most powerful move that I have. Yeah. I feel like someone's going to talk shit about me. Just be like, you know, the dude who just roundhouse kicks everybody.
He just spams the roundhouse button all the time.
Just spams roundhouse. Doesn't do anything else. He just spams roundhouse.
Dick.
Camps in the corners, and then when you get into melee range, he spams roundhouse.
Just gets into that rhythm, and you just can't get through it.
Just can't stop. Put me on ice. Watch me.
Oh man, you know, and I realized there's actually a pretty cool little illustration of the town of Badland here.
Whoa!
That I should have shared rather.
Oh.
last time, so I'll share it now instead.
Ooh.
There you go.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yep. Your classic Wretched Hive.
Yeah. Oh, look at all the well then wait, they're not wolfkin. What are they called?
Wolfen.
Wolfen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple wolfen. These two characters seem like orcs to me.
Yeah, they look rather orcish.
I like that they got the kind of like early Warhammer, like 80s punk hair.
Yep.
Very cool. Okay, I like this. I like this place.
All right.
Badland.
Badland.
Yeah. Not so bad. Hire me. Hire me. Department of Tourism.
Yeah, your
Department of
Tourist Board.
Tourist Affairs.
Not that bad.
Not that Badland.
Change the name of this place to Badass Land.
That's right. Badass's only land. Welcome to Roundhouse Square.
Roundhouse Circle. All right. So all right. So so you beat the shit out of these guys and you want them to take you to Hellfire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I guess I'm just like I'm probably not going to join these guys because I don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
And I am kind of taking a Patrick Swayze-esque stance from Roadhouse in this place where nobody really hired me to come in and clean this place up. And I am working for a thieves guild.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to work that hard, you know? So like,
Yeah.
I'm going to come in, I'm going to make a big enough ruckus to where people don't mess with me that much. And then I'll probably just be on cruise control, you know?
Right,
I don't want to be anybody's like assassination target.
No. You don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want that. But I also don't want to have to like be looking over my shoulder every 10 minutes. Like I want him to be like, oh, don't fuck with Dalton, you know?
You just want to be able to
Dalton's my last name.
Oh, okay. You just want to be able to hang out in your converted loft apartment above the barn with a nice view of the lake.
If I can just gentrify Badland just a little, just a little, a smidge. If I can live above a donut shop.
All right. So, well, speaking of being above a donut shop, so these guys, you know, much chastened, lead you out of the tavern onto the main street and then down, you know, a couple other side streets and then into an alleyway and then up this like rickety wooden staircase that you know, comes out at a landing about, you know, 2 stories up, and there's like this very basic kind of gate that's been erected right at the top of the stairs blocking the landing, and there's a goblin manning it, and the orcs give some kind of muttered password, so the goblin, you know, hoists the gate up. It's kind of like a, you know, chicken coop gate going up and down, you know.
How fancy is this goblin?
Not fancy at all.
Okay, so right now I've experienced the full gamut of goblin fanciness.
Yes.
Okay, good. I just want to know. I don't want to be like, oh, all goblins are rich. So like, I just want to know.
Yeah. No, this goblin is every bit as much of a ragamuffin as the orcs, you know. And in fact, his big floppy ears have been, you know, chewed up in multiple fights and are all like dinged and scarred, and
he's like a bait goblin.
Yeah, exactly.
Dark.
Just lower him into the pit. And so you proceed through, and then like up, you know, the stairway goes around the corner of whatever building this is and continues up, you know. And so eventually you come out on top, you know, of the stairway onto this flat rooftop, and then there's a smaller structure on top of the roof. And it's fairly simple actually. It's just kind of really just a wooden shack that's built atop the roof. And there's a little like tin smokestack and a bit of smoke coming out, and a few orcs, couple humans, and another kind of mangy looking wolfen, just in various positions of repose, sitting around. A couple of them are playing cards. One of them's like smoking a large pipe. And of course they all look when you come out on the roof, but they recognize their brethren, and then recognize you as some kind of newcomer. So immediately everybody's interest is piqued, and you feel all their eyes tracking you as you move towards this shack, from which emanates the sound of some like frenetic drumming.
I like this. Yeah, I'm kind of, now that I've seen like the 80s Warhammer hair, I'm definitely imagining my character drawn like the guy from Fists of the North Star. So I'm even more into it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so I'm looking around. Do I notice anything? I don't know. I know everybody's looking at me. I guess I want to pick out, like, do I notice, or do I see anybody that's like I'm looking and I'm like, oh, that dude's the biggest guy here. Like, if everything goes downhill, I just need to go kill this guy, and then
shank that dude. Yeah.
Exactly, just shank this dude and be like, I'm on top now.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now.
Yeah, well, that would definitely be the Wolfen.
Okay.
And in fact, so you hate Wolfen, correct?
I do.
Okay. How familiar are you with Wolfen culture? Like, are you one of those people who's like, to defeat your enemy, you must know him first? Or are you just kind of like, all Wolfen look the same to me?
I probably know a fair bit about Wolfen culture because I do know the Wolfen language.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I do know the Wolfen language. So I think, I'm not sure exactly why I hate Wolfen. I just know I don't like them. Yeah. I've probably never met one that like was trustworthy, or I was like, oh, this Wolfen was supposed to have my back, but he's out there like scratching behind his ears or something. So yeah, but I do know a fair bit about Wolfen culture, I would say. Not out of interest, but probably out of exposure.
Okay. Well, then why don't you give me an IQ roll? So that would just be 1d100 plus your IQ.
Oh, I forgot I need dice for this game.
It's one of those story games where you just talk everything out.
I have like a really expensive dice tower and really expensive dice I should be using, but instead I'm just using Google. I got I might go Switch, but I feel like they might be mad at me.
Yeah.
All right. So what test did you want me to make?
So it's 1d100 plus your IQ.
Plus my IQ. 30.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I forgot low numbers are bad in this game.
Yeah. Always want to roll high. At least in my house rules.
Ooh. Oh.
Which, by the way, I was doing some thinking after our last session, because I know you're like, no math, and and I'm also testing these with Alex. He's running something for me, and we're testing it. And I have to admit, the last session I was in, my brain was a little foggy just from being a little tired that day. And I was also kind of like, oh, I don't know, what's 39 plus 18? I don't fucking know. So like,
right.
I am toying with the idea, because basically the original Palladium system is very strange, because you're either rolling a D20 and wanting to roll high, or rolling a D100 and wanting to roll low.
Weird.
And so because it was basically just this guy's AD&D first edition house rules,
right.
So it kind of carried over that Frankenstein sort of energy, like just cobbled together game mechanics,
Yeah, here, take a game.
Yeah. So I decided to just go with, between the two dice, I decided to go with the 100, but keep the whole roll high thing from the D20 mechanic. But now I'm wondering, should I go the other direction and go back to D20 and all the D100 stuff just divide by 5, maybe make that because then you're just adding like roll D20 plus whatever. Like, what's your IQ, for example?
My IQ is 7.
So that would actually be a penalty. Because there was an interesting house rule where you could derive an attribute modifier to your D20 roll by, you'd figure this out in advance, and you would just take the attribute minus 10, or let's see, was it minus 10 divided by 2, something like that. So like yours would be like negative. You usually have like a penalty of minus 2, for example.
Right. Oh, okay. So like a D20 minus 2.
D20 minus 2, exactly. And then you're still trying to get target numbers. And it's a little D20 system. It's a little like third edition D&D in that way.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the math's easier, arguably.
The math is easier, but I really love D100 systems.
Yeah.
And I also love that it's a D100 like going up, like my immediate thought is like, oh, we're playing Call of Cthulhu because I'm looking at David. So I want to get my D100 and 23, woohoo.
Yeah,
but that is not the case.
Not the case.
No, it's fine. I mean, I suck at math. Maybe instead we'll just do like, we can guesstimate.
I mean, and that's usually the case. I mean, because
right.
There's very few times. It's only if the rolls are very close.
Right.
Or you get a critical success if you roll quadruple what your opponent rolls, right? If you roll 4 times what your opponent rolled.
Oh, wow.
So sometimes you do need to figure that out. Like,
well, I mean, we got calculators, dude. Our math teachers were wrong. We have calculators in our pockets.
You need to learn this because you won't always be carrying a calculator with you.
Yeah, well.
Wrong, Mr. Johansson. Wrong.
That's right. You should have invested in the future.
Well, you were busy teaching math. I was busy mastering the sword.
That's right. Classic.
All right. So you roll.
So yeah, I failed terribly. So I'm looking at this guy. I assume it's not a success.
Well, sometimes you do have target numbers, but sometimes I might just ask you to make a roll and then kind of give you something based on how high you go. So yeah,
I like that.
I wouldn't call it a failure per se, but yeah, 30
is a partial success.
A 30, you're not sure. So we'll just say that this wolfen appears to be. So what you do know is that there's 12 wolfen tribes. And they are physically distinct from each other. They have different like color fur and different builds and different like cultural values and economic systems and even religious beliefs. Like they worship different gods depending on what tribe you're in. So you are aware that some of these tribes are sort of more well known for being bigger and fiercer and meaner than other tribes, and you're pretty sure this guy's from one of those. He's from that end of the spectrum. You don't know the tribe name per se, but you're pretty sure he's from that end of the spectrum. So
okay, noted. So I'm gonna have to fight extra fierce.
Yeah.
Also, I do want to.
Also, he doesn't like the way you're looking at him, and he's
good.
like already standing up and like cracking his knuckles, and his hands are like as big as your head.
Classic.
So, yeah.
Well, I look like the guy from Fist of the North Star, so.
As established 8 minutes ago. So
yeah, please cast your minds. Google listeners to see my elongated features.
Freakishly thick neck.
My corpse grinder, cannibal corpse neck. Yeah, I also want to remind you, lest you've forgotten, that I do have a cloaked hand, and in it is a dwarven dagger.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not the honorable type. So if this dude comes at me, I will try to stab him in the head as fast as possible.
Let's do a prison yard shank kind of thing.
That's right.
All
Yep.
right.
And just be like, I'm the captain now kind of move,
Again, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There's no better way to put it.
Sounds good. Okay. So as you are, in a sort of stare down with this wolf, and you're still walking across the rooftop, and you're hearing these manic drums, and then they stop, and then there's some kind of like loud sort of growling vocalization. It's I don't know, do you speak Gobbly at all?
I do not.
Okay, so yeah, you recognize it as Gobbly, which is the language of orcs and goblins.
Okay.
But as to what the meaning may be, you do not know.
Is this does this strike me as like, did I like stumble upon a metal show, or is this like I assume, because I've heard that Hellfire is an orc shaman, that this might be some kind of ritual that I've walked into.
It does seem quite ritualistic, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do I know anything? I guess I probably don't know anything about like orc or goblin ritual purposes.
I don't think so, unless you have a lore, appropriate lore skill.
I've got lore, demons, and monsters, but I think we established that orcs are neither demons nor monsters.
No, they worship demons, but they're not that.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, you know what? I kind of do, just because I mean, we're here to roll dice, buddy. Even though I forgot dice existed in the beginning of the game.
That's fine.
But I would like to roll something to see, like, again, I want to find quick exits, and even be like, oh, if things go wrong, I need to, and I'm going to try to go kill this wolfen who's looking at me funny. Like, I need to be in this position.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like here's a table that I need to be standing on so I can stab this guy in the top of the head.
Right.
So yeah, I just want to survey. I have detect, ambush, camouflage, surveillance, streetwise. If there's a parallel box or some rings nearby.
Well, yeah, we're always on the lookout for full gymnastic.
I'm gonna ask it every session.
Is there a pommel horse that I can walk off of?
Pommel horse. I'm rusty and I need the practice.
That's right. These skills need constant honing.
That's right.
All right, so let's see. So you were looking at detect, ambush. You were looking at what else?
Detect, ambush, camouflage, surveillance, and streetwise. Those are the ones that I have that scream out to me. Also, if there's a chain like laying around, I might. That's kind of a serious question.
Yeah.
Like, I'll tell you, this is so, David, this is just so you know, and so the people at home know, like, this is my idea for the character, is that like I'm like a freakish kind of monster hunter character.
Yep.
But I normally don't carry around many weapons.
Yeah.
So my idea is that like, oh, I'm gonna headbutt this dude to death, or roundhouse him to death, or whatever it ends up being.
Yeah.
And then when he drops his sword, I'm gonna take it. Or, oh, there's a chain hanging off a thing over here, or like somebody's wearing, a chain as a belt. I'm gonna go rip them in half and then take the chain, and I have weapon proficiency chain.
Okay, cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's the kind of vibe that I'm going for. Is any of it gonna happen? I don't know.
If I ever end up running another Palladium game for you called Ninjas and Super Spies, which comes with 41 martial arts techniques that you can choose from, remember to take Mugi Gong, which is I believe Korean martial arts form that teaches you how to use any object as a deadly weapon. And so basically, in the terms of game mechanics, you can literally turn anything into something that does at least D4 damage,
That's amazing.
Goes up from there.
I love it.
Okay, so I will say because I'm just kind of looking at these. I got distracted for a second because, I've done a close reading of the rule book, so I've gone through and I've highlighted sections,
Oh, yeah.
Now, partly that's like things that's like, oh, this would be good to know, but it's in the completely wrong part of the book, so I'm going to highlight it so that I might notice it when I need to.
That's right.
But also, I was highlighting like total what the fuck things, so like I was sort of skimming over camouflage here since you mentioned camouflage.
Ooh.
And it says the skill of concealing a fixed base position, campsite, wagon, crates, siege weapons, equipment, or individual, natural or artificial material, using natural or artificial materials. Siege weapons?
Siege weapons. Camouflaging a siege weapon?
Camouflaging a catapult. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
A stealth catapult.
Yeah.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
I guess it's World War II style, like putting a camouflage netting over, your artillery piece or whatever.
I guess that's I always forget this is like a universal system. It's not like throwing leaves on a ballista.
Well, yeah, except that they do attempt to change the text to make it read more like it's specifically for the fantasy setting. But occasionally things slip through, like they'll talk about police officers. Okay. Or rifles, I think, get a mention in some place here. But that's kind of funny. I think they do literally mean catapults and ballistas. But anyway. All right. So no, we're gonna go with surveillance though, because
cool.
The study of the operation, methods, and techniques used in surveillance and taking a strategic position.
Ooh, okay. Okay, yeah. So, and just so I know, I rolled my D100 and then I add surveillance.
You're going to add surveillance, and in this case, you're also going to add your IQ. Actually, let me change that. Ooh. Your mental affinity, because your mental affinity kind of encompasses your perception abilities as well. So
80 would be my final total.
Ooh,
I'm not that bad at math.
Oh, you're doing great. All right. So you note a few things. Obviously, you're on a rooftop, so that's an issue. But there are several other buildings immediately adjacent to the one you're on that are approximately the same height and fairly close in. So you could always just, if you're looking to make a quick escape, attempt a pole vault or a pommel jump,
Are there some manacles hanging like equidistant?
There are what you might call uneven parallel bars,
Okay.
But no, you can always, take a running jump. There is the obligatory clothesline that's hanging across one of these gaps. So
awesome.
You can always do that. And you can even hear from down in between the buildings the fluttering of awnings. So you could always just kind of do one of those controlled falls by just jumping onto an awning and letting it break your fall.
All right, let me take some notes.
So there are all sorts of opportunities for, impressive stunt work.
Okay, good.
Carried out by your stunt double.
I would love that. Like, it looks clearly different.
Yeah.
What is that? Spaceballs when like you've captured the stunt doubles.
You fools. Yeah. All right. So that's about all you see before your attention is drawn back to this hut, because as you are approaching it, you're still about 10 feet away when the sort of tattered curtain that passes for a doorway is drawn aside from within, and emerging out of the darkened interior of the cabin is a very tall, burly, kind of like huskily built orc. He is wearing a necklace made of what appear to be human skulls. So it's actually quite large and ostentatious, and is otherwise nude. and is spattered with all kinds of fresh blood,
Okay.
including down his chin. So he's been devouring something.
So this dude likes to party.
He does. He's the Andrew WK of orcs.
Get this dude some white pants.
That's right.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna kind of like squint my eyes at him. Who's leading me? Is it the dudes that I beat up?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have plenty of friends.
Oh yeah. You're surrounded by friends.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of looking at him. I'm gonna wait for. I mean, this is his spot.
Mm-hmm.
I've clearly interrupted dinner, so I'm going to. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of wait and let this dude make the first move and let him call the shots.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm keeping an eye on my 6, making sure that like big wolfen dude's not like coming to stand next behind me, because if he does, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Ooh, shit. All right. Well, you can definitely sense that the people on the roof are all standing at this point. Nobody's moved yet. You don't hear any like feet scuffing on the the gravelly roof or anything like that. But it's definitely kind of a high alert situation, right? And so this orc is kind of looking you up and down, and like one of the other two sort of shuffles up to him and says something in gobbly in a low tone, and the bloody orc, without even looking at this other guy, just kind of shoves him aside and walks up to you. Now you're a bit tall and gangly yourself, so
I am tall and thin.
So you're about the same height as him, but he's got a good 50 pounds on you at least, but he's just kind of looking you up and down, and then he just says, "You want to join our gang?"
Interesting. I want to look. You know what? I don't. I was gonna say I wanted to look and see the reactions of the people around me, but I don't care about their reaction. I'm more interested in Hellfire, and he's asking if I want to join the gang. I'm gonna say, "How much do you pay?"
So he looks around, and then he starts laughing, like, yeah, he thinks he's gonna get paid. And then he looks back at you, and he says, "We don't pay anything. You take."
Interesting. So it's kind of a commission-based system, or
Right, so the way it works is like whips out this little document.
Right, it's like you take commissions, then you get a 5% bonus if you meet your quota.
Yeah, that was 5% up to $100, and then an additional 2% for $25 after.
Jesus, taking me back. Okay. All right, and nobody's moving in on me quite yet.
Yeah, you're not hearing anything. Well, actually, let's why don't you give me a D100 roll plus your mental affinity.
Whoa, dude, you're not going to believe it. Mental affinity, 103.
Wow. Okay. And remember,
I hear everything.
Remember that if you roll 91 or above.
Oh, that's right. I rolled.
Roll again.
I rolled it. So I rolled a natural 92.
Okay.
So
going.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll another one.
Yeah.
And do I add my mental affinity to that as well?
No, just the one time. So
okay, so it was 103.
Yeah.
Now it's 148.
Okay. Wow.
We are 148.
Yes. I wasn't going to say it.
I felt it appropriate considering he probably wants my skull as well.
He definitely wants your skull. So, all right, great. So, I will say that although nobody's moving at the moment, there's just a slight chilly spring breeze blowing, and you hear the rustling of the curtain somewhere off in the distance. A baby cries, a dog barks.
Okay.
But you do hear the very subtle, slight sound of steel being slowly eased out of an oiled scabbard somewhere on your, we'll say, 4 o'clock position.
Okay. Love that. I've got when I hear that, the camera, like pans down to my hand, like gripping my dwarven dagger underneath my cloak. I'm like white knuckling it.
Yeah.
And he says, we don't pay, you take.
Yeah.
And I say, how much do you take from what I take?
So he gives you a lopsided grin, and he says, depends on the client. Big job, we take a lot. Small jobs, you keep everything.
Seems pretty fair. Being honest. I'm
liking these guys more and more.
I'm like, say, who do you worship? Like accepting applications.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually I'm gonna say I kind of want to, I want to know a little bit more about Hellfire. I'm gonna say, but I don't want to I don't know. I don't want to I don't want to be like, so tell me about yourself. But I do want to know. Okay, I'm gonna ask. That music. What were you doing in there?
Communing with the spirits. They told me you were coming.
They like to talk.
They say if you go into the mountains, you're going to die.
Interesting. I definitely believe in the spirits because I'm a religious guy. I'm going to say, what else did they tell you?
I need no spirits to tell me you are just the latest. There have been others like you. Others that Alyssa has sent out there.
Who went before me? Who was the last?
So he looks around and one of them goes, wasn't it that one guy, boss? 3 months ago, right when the snow was starting to melt. He's like, yes, he thought he was very tough indeed. But he fell just like the others. And now his head is on Alyssa's wall with all the rest.
Oh, man. I didn't expect for these guys to be dishing out exposition.
They're spilling all the tea.
I know. I love it. I'm going to say his head is on the wall. Who put it there?
She did. She likes to hunt.
Tell me everything you know about this job.
All right. So basically, he shares with you that Alyssa Bad did indeed seemingly lose one of these serpent beasts some time ago. He believes she summoned it herself, and somehow it escaped from its binding circle. But she doesn't really care about that. She can always summon more, and but she uses it as an excuse to hire dupes, essentially, and then hunt them for sport in the mountains.
Wow, that's a huge amount of information.
he's got his ear to the ground.
I guess the question is, okay, I'm not going to ask you, David. I'm going to ask Hellfire. Hellfire, are you here?
Can I speak to Hellfire?
Can I speak to Hellfire? Hellfire, are you with us? I'm going to say, why are you telling me this? And why should I believe you?
So he gives you another one of his crooked grins, and he says, I have no love lost for Alyssa. I do jobs for her sometimes, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired of seeing good warriors go off into the mountains to die instead of fighting for me. You should be in my gang.
One of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I hate these guys. I worked for these guys before. In real life. Okay. I'm just going to nod, like one slow nod. With my giant neck. And I'm tall and thin. And I'm all neck.
You're all neck. That's right.
I'm practically a brachiosaur. I nod and I say, I'll think about it. And then I turn around and start to leave.
All right. So at that point, Hellfire says, oh, no. Now that you know these things, I can't let you leave until you're a part of the gang, you see. Mm-hmm. I can't have Alyssa find out that I'm telling all her secrets.
So I stop when he says, oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
And then I turn around.
Uh-huh.
And I say, who's going to stop me?
Oh, shit. All right.
That's right.
Okie dokie.
I have no respect for his authority.
Clearly. All right. Let's see here. Now, it's funny that they call him a shaman in the text because there isn't really actually a class called shaman.
Interesting.
But I think warlock would probably be a close
Yeah, I could see this going two ways. One, I bust out and jump off the building onto the awnings, like using the clothesline and then falling on the awnings underneath. Or two, he subdues me with magic and I'm chained to his will by magical means. Mm-hmm. Both of which I'm okay with.
Oh dear. All right, let's see here. Okay, so yeah. Okay. Pardon me while I assemble a stat block on the fly here.
No problem.
All right, so
this game brought to you by...
Yeah, exactly. We'll be back after these important messages.
Oh, you know what? You know what? I am actually going to take a second, if I may, to go get my actual dice.
Oh, brilliant. All right.
So I can watch them Yeah, I can watch them betray me.
Perfect. That's the best feeling in the world. I'll pause the recording, and we'll be back in a second.
You mean to kill me? Welcome to the future.
In a time beyond tomorrow, a new order has begun. Innocence has no chance. And only the North Star can bring back the peace.
Fist of the North Star!
Your dreams are over.
Fist of the North Star.
All right, we are back. So I have determined that he is definitely a Psi Mystic. So this is a class of people who are both psionists and can cast wizard spells.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we've got one here that he's gonna bust out. But yes, good. So you're all set with your dice. Okay, so I know what he's gonna try and do. What are you going to try and do?
What am I going to try to do? Well, I guess when I turned around, I turned around to where I could spot whoever was in my 4 o'clock position. So I'm probably, I don't know. All right, paint the picture for me, David. Who's in front of me? Who's between me and Hellfire? If there's nobody between me and Hellfire, I'm going to go try to stab Hellfire.
There is nobody between you and Hellfire. In fact, he had walked right up to you. So,
oh shit!
Yeah, he's right there. So you were turning around, and he's like, not so fast, Von Ryan, and he's taking off his diamond earrings and telling you these have always brought me luck. No. Yeah, so you're right there with him. The other people are maybe about 15 feet away, and they're mostly like where you saw them when you were walking in. They just kind of stood up,
Okay.
And indeed, though, you do see that the Wolfen is kind of on your 9 o'clock, and then the guy on your 4 o'clock, he's just a kind of rangy looking human dude, and he's got his hand on his sword, and he's kind of eased it a little bit out of its scabbard. But yeah, he's about 15 feet away.
I can take a stab from this dude. What I cannot take is my brain melting from Hellfire.
Yeah, you don't want that. The guy's name's literally Hellfire. So
right, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, this isn't like a show for me, so I can't stop with just like punching Hellfire in the face. This is what I'm gonna try to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to turn around.
Yep.
And stab him.
Mm-hmm.
And if the stab does not kill him, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run specifically for the clothesline, take it.
Yeah.
Midway, drop, controlled fall onto the awnings below.
Okay.
And roll out into the alleyway where what's his name? Where Pinch is strategically placed.
Yes, Pinch. All right. Okay, so it's an initiative roll. This is
All right.
D100 plus your speed, plus
Plus
any initiative bonuses
speed.
you may have.
I don't think I have any initiative bonuses.
No,
If
they're very rare to get
okay.
those,
So this plus 14.
Uh-huh.
And we want to go, we don't want low.
If you roll a 10 or less, that's not good.
Well, I rolled a 12.
Okay. Okay.
Plus 14. So, 26.
Okay. I got 84. So
Okay, fair.
yeah.
This probably honestly plays out more to my advantage.
It could. Okay, so he without even an audible word or gesture, not that you would see the gesture having turned around, but without even any noise on his part, Hellfire conjures up his namesake as a giant circle of flame springs up, encircling the two of you.
Nice.
It's about 5 feet tall.
Okay.
So you can see over it. But yeah, it's like a 10-foot radius, basically centered on him.
Just something cool to jump through on my way to the clothesline.
Hey, there you go.
All right. And that was his turn?
Well, okay. So the way it works is he gets to keep taking actions until he does something that gets stymied. So like
that's
if he casts something on you and you save against it, for example,
okay,
he would lose the rest of his actions. But yeah, he's conjured up this wall of fire, and then he's going to try another spell this time. This one's going to be directed at you, so you are going to get a saving throw.
Okay.
So let's see here. The way those work now on the character sheet itself, I tried changing those numbers, even using a full PDF editor. The thing just like freaked out and was acting very strangely. So just pretend that these numbers are all multiplied by 5. So for example, a save against a magic spell, that target number should be 60, not 12.
Oh, okay.
And then you're going to add the bonus that's in the little circle there next to it. So
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Right. So you're going to roll D100 plus 10 in your case. And this is a spell. So you're going to want to roll 60 or higher.
A spell, a 60 or higher. And is it 60 on the dice or like 50 on the dice?
Yeah, 50 on the, like 60 total.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I did not.
Great. Cool. All right. So you basically your perception and thoughts are suddenly very muddled. You can't really think straight. You're feeling a little unbalanced, and you just kind of feels like you've been drugged almost.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then he just keeps going at me, right?
Yeah, since you failed your save, unfortunately.
Okay.
So let's see here. Right. So then he's going to follow it up with. Oh wow, this doesn't have a save at all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, this guy is the leader of a gang. I mean, it's kind of
right. Yeah.
Badass. All right. So you the next thing you feel is that you begin to float.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like as if you're just slightly, as if you've suddenly become weightless.
I may not even register this because I've already started to feel dizzy.
True.
Yeah.
Probably just feels like part of your overall, dizziness. So yeah, you are floating about 1 foot off the ground.
Okay.
At this point. And I think, let's see here, for his fourth and final action, he is actually going to cancel the circle of fire and then signal for his guys to move in as he calls for them to tie you up.
Oh, shit.
Mhm.
Well, okay. So what are my options now? Because I'm floating. I can't imagine that I'm willfully flying.
No, you are not. So basically, you are, let's see, under this befuddlement, you have penalties to strike, parry, and dodge. Your
Hmm.
actions are cut in half, and all skills are reduced by 20.
Jeez Louise.
Mhm. And then your floating, it doesn't, interestingly enough, it doesn't mean that you can't move.
Oh,
It's a further penalty to strike, parry, and dodge. And then your normal movement is reduced by half. So I imagine it's kind of like trying to like move through the deep end of a pool where you can just barely touch the floor of the pool,
okay. Yeah.
You kind of just get your toes down a little bit, sort of push yourself along. So yeah. No,
Okay.
sure.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can I propel myself to the floor and then jump up using the floating?
Oh. um yeah, like let's do that with a roll D100 plus your physical prowess, but then we'll subtract 20 from it.
Okay.
So-
And just so we're reminded, I do have athletics, gymnastics.
Yeah.
I do have sense of balance as a skill
Okay.
and acrobatics.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes
Okay.
sense. Let's see here. Now, acrobatics doesn't have its own. No, it does not. Okay, why don't you add your physical prowess plus your sense of balance, and then we'll
Okay.
reduce that by 20.
All right. So I rolled an 86.
Great.
My sense of balance is 40, puts me at 126. And
Yep.
then what was the other thing? Physical prowess?
Physical prowess, yeah.
126. So we're at like 152.
Okay. Minus 20 is 132, but that's still excellent. Still really well rolled. So
Good job,
yeah.
Dice.
Indeed. All right. So I think, yeah, absolutely. You kind of sense that you can bob up and down a little bit, and almost with this like maybe like beatific smile on your face, it's like
That's
you just kind of drop down and then push yourself off, and yeah, suddenly you're sort of floating up in the air.
And we're outside, right?
Yes, you are actually.
That's
yes.
right. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't want to like Gonzo in the Muppet movie this, where I'm like floating for half the.
Right.
But yeah, I just kind of want to, I guess, push myself in the direction that I came from because I don't know this town very well.
Right.
Or
Wow.
maybe actually push myself in the direction that like we're on like a flat roof. I want to
Mhm.
push myself in the direction that like they can't follow.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
I understand there's like a bunch of roofs and stuff like that and clotheslines and shit, but
Yeah.
I imagine none of these dudes can walk a tightrope like me.
Well, especially if you're like semi-weightless, right?
Oh, exactly.
All right.
So, yeah,
you're-
I just
you're
kinda wanna-
you're aiming for one of these clotheslines, basically.
Right. Yeah. And I literally do have walk tightrope / high wire.
Hello. I mean, we have
So,
to use it. We have
we
to
have
use
to
it.
use it. And
All
I'm,
right.
as always, ever vigilant of the sight of a parallel boxer rings. Just in case.
Just in case. All right. So all right. So all right. So that was your first action. And how many actions per melee do you have?
I think my actions were cut in half. That's all I know.
they were. So normally you have 3. So
Okay.
you're reduced to 2.
Okay.
All
So
right,
half rounding up.
Yeah. So so that kind of gets you mobile. And then your second roll now will be to kind of land on this clothesline here. So
Okay, cool.
this would be physical prowess plus tightrope high wire.
Okay, thank you.
plus a D100 minus 20.
Okay. So I rolled a 67 minus
Okay.
20. That's 47
Yep.
plus walk tightrope high wire, which is 30. So that puts me to 77.
Okay.
And then my physical prowess is 16, which puts me at like 93 or something.
93. Yeah. Okay. Great.
So not bad.
Not bad at all.
Those college gymnastics classes, do they offer those in college?
We even have colleges.
Yeah. Monster hunting school.
Right.
The old Witcher Academy, they love their box springs and high wires.
All right, cool. So I'm going to say that yes, indeed, you do land on this tightrope, if you
Nice.
will. And so that's sort of your round.
Round.
You're now balanced on this tightrope.
How long does the floating last?
Good question. That lasts. Wow. Okay, so I mean, I suppose he could cancel it.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, this would wait a minute. Oh, that's melee, it's not minutes. Okay, well that is slightly different. Let's see here. There's four melees in a minute. This will last for a while. I'll just put it that way.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Until he cancels it, basically.
Yeah, effectively. But and then your befuddlement is also gonna last for that's gonna last for a while too. Okay. All right, so you're on this tightrope, feeling like you were fucking drugged, feeling like somebody slipped you a Mickey. So that's a great place to be.
That's how good I am.
But fortunately, the floatiness is actually maybe helping you a little bit. You know,
That's right.
So
Although
of course,
I do feel like I want to puke.
Oh yeah.
Like from the dizziness, I'm like, bleh.
Absolutely. So of course, Hellfire is yelling after you and telling his flunkies, don't let him get away. And he's going to do something about that too. So another initiative roll. This one's important.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right. Let's see. What does that come out to? 75.
And what do we add? We add speed to this.
Yeah, add your speed.
All right. Well, I rolled a 97. Yeah. And my speed is 14. So that puts me at like 111. And then I get to roll again.
You get to roll again.
Another 26 on top of 107.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Whatever it was. Yeah. A lot.
100. Yeah, a lot. Take that, Hellfire.
All right, so you begin to bounce along this clothesline, like a man on the moon, basically.
Man on the Moon starts playing in the background too.
Yeah. If you believe, they put a man on the moon. And so yeah, anyone looking up in this moment would be treated to a very whimsical sight.
That's right.
I feel like you need a comically undersized umbrella for this whole thing.
Yeah.
And
give me Pinch's umbrella and top hat.
Exactly. But yeah, you cover the span of this clothesline in just a few bounds.
Awesome.
And then you alight upon the far roof. Just as Hellfire gets off his firebolt spell, right? He sends a little bolt of fire right at the rope itself. His intention was to just burn up the tie for the rope and send you plummeting. So firebolt hits the rope, and the whole clothesline goes down. Somebody loses their laundry. Sure. And I know
this time of year,
I forget about it. And then looking back, perhaps you see all these high-ranking members of the Vipers, standing along the precipice of the roof, shaking their collective fists at you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm kind of just like falling at this point, right?
Right. Yeah.
Gently falling.
Well,
and I'm like,
you alighted upon the roof, so you're.
Oh, that's
okay
right. That's right.
There.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
yeah, while this is still while the floating is still happening, I'm a little more confident, even though I'm still befuddled.
Yeah.
I basically want to use my gymnastics skill here.
Oh my god.
I want to like jump up into like a T pose, and then like turn around, like backflip and like 360-degree turn to like look at them as I like fall down back into the like some random alley, disappearing from their view. That's my goal.
Okay, I like it. So you do so, and of course, firebolt, hellfire, not the spell firebolt.
Old firebolt.
Old firebolt. Hellfire uses this opportunity to cancel the floating spell.
Yes. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Because I know I still have the awnings underneath me, and then maybe even a couple extra like if I can like grab onto a clothesline and then like it pulls down and then snaps, and then I'm able to kind of get close to a building and hit the awning and slide out. That's kind of what I want to. That's what I'm going for. Indeed. I don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah, well, let's see here. That sounds like kind of a variation on the backflip somersault skill there. So we'll do. You're still befuddled. He wasn't nice enough to cancel that.
Right.
So
bastard.
So that's physical prowess plus backflip somersault plus D100 minus 20.
Okay, and then backflip somersault is going to be my. Oh, it is. It's literally backflip somersault.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, good. I didn't want to be confused.
No. Sounds like a hippie name.
Dude, you're going to hate me.
Oh, what did you do?
I rolled a 1.
All right, roll again and subtract it from 1.
So negative 41. But
hold on a second.
Now I actually need to get out the calculator.
Yeah.
So negative 41.
Yeah.
And then minus 20 again, right?
Yeah. So negative 61.
Minus 61. Okay. And then my backflip somersault is 40.
Okay. So negative 21.
Negative 21. And then my physical prowess, which is 16. So that puts me at
negative 5.
Respectable.
Respectable.
Considering I rolled a 1, I had the whole world going against me here.
Yeah. So yeah, like 1 minute you're just floating through the air, kind of doing this, doing this like Iron Eagle pose and looking at him with a little smirk on your face. Totally. And then you're just like, oh shit. And like there are awnings, but the only ones you're hitting are like super flimsy. They're like old, like repurposed, sun damaged, like Led Zeppelin blankets, and like
just blasting through them.
You're just shooting right through them,
Wile E. Coyote cutouts on them.
Yeah, exactly. Like hippie mushrooms and that kind of thing. And so and
my dad lives here.
And then you're like going face first into like guy wires and poles and stuff, so I
actually love that I failed that.
That is pretty hilarious,
because like I don't want to is like my plan is to never, I mean the dice obviously are in control here, but like I never want to leave. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I left Hellfire unscathed. Like I already escaped with my life, with everything that I wanted. Like I have all this information about Alyssa. He basically confided in me. Yeah. Gesundheit. Basically confided in me and was like, I don't know why I'm telling you this. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
And so to fall and face plant and some Led Zeppelin towels or whatever, like not that big of a deal. I'll take it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was partly him trying to manipulate you so that you wouldn't, you'd be forced to join the gang, and partly because he was also high from his ritual.
That's right. The sweat lodge.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, let's see here. 1d6 damage per 10 feet. Okay. Well, let's see. So you're about 4 stories up.
Nice.
So we'll say that's 4d6.
There you go.
Wow. 1 6 and 3 1s.
Hey.
So despite your uncontrolled descent, you land in the back of a 2-wheeled mule cart that's
totally
full of overripe vegetables, which just kind of explode on impact.
Totally, a bunch of footprints of Viper gang members like run by like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just lying there like blinking, staring at the sky.
All right, hold on. Where do I keep track of my hit? So my hit points.
Right.
Do I have
It's the
how
first
do I
time
do
you've
this?
taken damage. Okay, so there are 2 kinds of hit points. There's SDC, which is structural damage capacity,
right,
which is a silly name for what it does, because it's basically just it's almost like you could look at it as your action hero hit points, because these are like your bumps and bruises, like these are the things you can just shake off. And then you always lose those first. And then once you get down to hit points, that's when it's like, oh, somebody tie this vein off, please, before I bleed to death, kind of thing.
Okay,
fair. So you're going to lose 10 SDC.
Okay. And is there a place to keep track of like current hit points?
I would just put in a little slash, maybe, if you can fit it.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, whoops. Okay, so I'm not. There we go. All right. You said it was 10 damage?
10 damage, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm at 44 SDC, bro. My internals are still good.
You're good.
And I'm feeling, I mean, Kenny's feeling great. Guthormr is like, I got hellfire by the balls now. But I also am like, what am I going to do? Because now hellfire is after me. Now I know Alyssa is for sure setting me up because she wants to hunt action heroes, basically. I still kind of want to be
dangerous game, etc.
Right? Yeah, I kind of want to be in that position.
So you can get the drop on her, and then like,
oh, totally, yeah, exactly, yeah. Play along,
right?
And I'm like,
right,
yeah. I don't know,
I like that.
But she could even. Let me think here. Something I don't recall from our last session here was. Oh no! Wait, it was never mind. I do recall. I was thinking these worms from another dimension. I didn't know if they had intelligence, but I do remember they have like animal intelligence.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna get out of this little cart of fruit, fruit and hay when the timing is right, and basically just like at this point it's probably nighttime. Am I right in guessing that?
I believe it would be, yeah.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, I'm definitely like, I'm going to throw my cloak. I don't have a hood. I just have a big cloak. So, I'm going to throw like, a loop of my cloak up over my head. And just kind of like stay close to the alleys, keep my head down. And I left all my shit at the hotel. But I don't want to go. No, you know what? I am going to go back there because I don't want Alyssa to know that I suspect something. Like I still want her to think like, oh, this barbarian, is. I just offered him more gold than he's ever going to see in his life. There's no way he's going to turn it down. I want her to be unawares as possible. So
yeah,
I'm going to take as many back roads as I can and just kind of like head in the direction of the hotel. Like I said, I don't know this town.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of heading in the direction and hoping that the alleys like spit me out somewhere. Or if I can spot Pinch somewhere, I'll be like, hey, Pinch, get over here and take me to the damn hotel.
All right. So you start like just you kind of hurl yourself into a random alley as quickly as possible and just start following these back alleys. If you want me to be really cruel, I can roll on some random encounter tables.
I mean, David, I'm here for it.
Excellent. 1 second.
Oh, you know what? I do have Streetwise as well. So I don't know if that will help me.
While I'm grabbing those tables, go ahead and roll Streetwise plus mental affinity plus D100.
Okay, cool. So 114 is my Streetwise.
Nice. Okay, so even though you don't know this town per se, you know that all towns tend to have the same kind of general layout, So, and you're in the process of orienting yourself. So, I'm going to say that a roll like that is great because that means I'm only going to make one roll.
Ooh.
On the encounter table here.
By the way, am I still befuddled?
Oh, right. That was going to last for 10 minutes. So I think by the time you kind of were lying in the cart and then you got out and
I probably would have laid in the cart and just had my eyes closed because I know how it is. We were talking about my ear problems. I put peroxide in my ear all the time.
Oh, okay.
And dude, it sends my equilibrium just out the fucking window.
Oh man.
And so I just lay there and the room is spinning. So I can imagine that's probably what Guthormr feels like. Yeah. So if it was me, I would have just laid in the cart until it stopped.
You ever seen I think it's in Better Off Dead, the John Cusack movie from the 80s?
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh my god, you gotta see it.
No, I gotta watch it.
He ends up in the back of a garbage truck and a couple maintenance workers cut. I think they're trimming a tree or something. They look down, they see him in there, and one of those. It's a shame when people throw away a perfectly good white boy like that. All right. So we're gonna make one encounter roll. Ooh, a 95.
Let's go.
An event.
Ooh.
An event.
It better. 95?
Yeah. These tables are cursed, man. I've used them before, and
cursed.
They always produce interesting results.
I love
it. Oh, no. Oh,
yes.
no.
Yes.
No.
What is happening?
I always roll. It's the one I always roll. No, God, no.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Now I want to know, but if you fudge the result, I won't.
I'm not going to fudge the result, but
okay.
Let's just say that there is a chance. There was a chance.
Ooh.
Okay, here we go. On a 1 to 4. I rolled an 8. Okay. All right. All right. Please give me a percentile roll. Do not roll 20 or less.
I rolled a 21.
Oh! Jesus Christ.
A 21.
Okay.
21.
So, and this is probably right when the befuddlement's wearing off. You're going down one of these alleyways, and there's just a big fucking pothole. Just this 2 foot wide hole in the ground.
God.
And you just step right into it, and you turn your ankle.
Oh God!
But fortunately, the injury is not enough to cause any harm.
Wait, is that the event?
That's the event.
Twisted ankle?
A twisted ankle. So that's the weird thing about the event table, and I always forget it. I roll it every damn time, even though it's
twisted ankles.
Yeah, even though it's you have to roll in the high 90s to get it. And so here's the thing. This goes back to when I was running Palladium last year, and I busted out these tables, and I was running it for Alex and Des. And now, many years ago, I ran a one-on-one D&D game with Alex that was set in the city state of the Invincible Overlord. The classic supplement. And that one has very kind of like old school random encounter tables that are like just completely outrageous, just all kinds of crazy shit can happen to you. But I kept rolling for things to fall on him. Like he had like chamber pots emptied on him, like roof tiles fell on him, to the extent that he actually hired like a half ogre bodyguard to walk around with an iron bumper chute to just hold over his head all the time,
My God.
And so I was teasing him when I was busting out these encounter tables because I'm like, there's a chance you could get some chamber pot emptied on you. And then no joke, I rolled event, and then the event table has the chamber pot outcome, and I rolled that. And so I was worried that I was going to get chamber pot again for you, but fortunately not.
Oh, good.
Fortunately not.
I guess that would have also been really funny, but I'll take a twisted ankle.
I don't know, man. I would have had to stop running games for a while because I was just been like scared of my own power.
Too many chamber pots.
Too much. Summoning chamber pots from thin air.
That's your tattoo, dude. It's a big chamber pot.
Sailing through the air.
Totally.
Content sort of dribbling out behind it. All right.
Oh man. Okay. Well, that wasn't that bad. I thought I was gonna get like jumped by 10 dudes or something.
Oh, that's completely possible. Yeah, Alex also got jumped by a cult actually, and they knocked him out and captured him for a sacrifice. But anyway, that's all I know. All right, so you actually got off fairly easily on that one, and
good.
And as you're sort of making your way back towards where you're pretty sure is the part of town that the inn and everything's located.
Limping now.
Limping a little bit, yeah.
You know what? I honestly think this is probably the work of Lochnar.
Mm-hmm. It's got Lochnar all over it.
It's got Lochnar all over it, dude. And not only that, but I'm like, oh wait, the Hellfire Club, these guys worship the god of trickery. To me, that's Lochnar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is to them, but to me, that's Lochnar from Heavy Metal, the movie. And and
get
like
that fucking thing out of here.
And I just got done doing all these acrobatics, and I got out relatively unscathed. And what happens? I like twist my ankle in a pothole. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like cursing Lochnar as I'm like waddling around the city like alleys, like limping.
Yep. All right. So very much so. And in this town, a shrine to Lochnar is never more than a stone's throw away, certainly. So
throw a banana peel at it.
You
or
wanted
something.
to personally go there and desecrate the shrine or something.
Well, I don't want to get him too angry. He twisted my ankle. That's okay.
Hey, Lochnar, fuck you.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I'm probably just like obviously like Loki for us. It's he's like tied up with the serpent dripping venom on him. I'm sure there's some kind of story about that, some equivalent in this world. And I'm probably like, may the serpent's venom drop on your testicles, so and so and this and that.
Yeah. Sure enough, as you're limping through these alleys and you're getting closer to what you think is the right part of town, out of the shadows, a little rattling appears, and it's Pinch.
My guy.
And he says, hey, the whole town is talking about what just happened. What's going on?
I'm going to say, real quick, where am I? Like, am I close to the hotel? Do I know where I am?
You're confident that you're within a close range, and that if you looked around for maybe another half hour or so, you'd probably find it.
Okay, I'm like, Pinch, I don't have time right now. I need you to get me to the Dragon's Den quietly and using as many back alleys and sewers as you can.
So his eyes widen a little bit, but he nods and he says, the whole town's saying you fought the Hellfire, you fought the leader of the Vipers. All the Vipers are out for you, man.
Fought Hellfire and lived. Tell him that.
So he nods again. He's like, all right, yeah, come with me. So he starts, leading you down another side alley. And within 10 minutes, you're across the plaza, if you will, from the Dragon's Den.
And it's kind of like an open chute.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't really have anywhere to hide here.
Yeah, because it's it's an upscale hotel, so it's got a lot of
right.
Kind of manicured yard around it and whatnot.
Okay,
it's one of the nicer buildings in town.
I'm gonna peek around and I'm gonna say, hey, Pinch, look around, make sure nobody from Hellfire's around here. We don't need any Vipers popping up unexpectedly. I need to get into the hotel.
All right, I'll give Pinch a roll here. Pinch and roll. Oh, 68, almost a 69.
Almost nice. Not,
nice.
Not quite nice.
No. Plus his mental affinity, which is decent. All right. Yeah, no, he's a good watchman. So he looks around, he's like, okay, it's clear. No, wait. Hold on a second. Okay, they just turned the corner. Okay, go.
Okay.
So by this point your spraying's worn off, so you can.
Okay. Oh, sick.
So why don't we just get a D100 plus your speed roll, just to kind of get a good gauge of how quickly you can dash across,
Okay. I rolled an 89.
Ooh.
And then my speed is 14.
Yeah.
So like 103.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Great. All right. So you do indeed dash across the open square under the chill and inky black night sky with the sort of all the stars coming out and winking down at you. And you run up to the main entrance if that's where you want to go.
I kind of want to go. I imagine my room had like a window on it.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, I want to go to my room on the outside and like climb the building and break in from the outside.
Oh, sure, of course. Absolutely.
And I'm gonna tell Pinch to follow me and to like come into my room with me.
Okay.
I'll catch him up.
All right, cool. All right, so you got decent climb walls, I see. So no need for rolling or anything. You're not not under stress or anything like that. And so within a few minutes you are back inside of your little room there.
I'm gonna look around and see if anything in here's been tampered with. I want to see if anyone's been rifling around, going through my goodies.
It doesn't look. Everything looks the way you remember it looking. But if you want to give me a perception roll just to look for any smaller clues, that's perfectly fine. That's a D100 plus your mental affinity.
Well, that'd be like a 45. So not great.
Not great. Yeah. So yeah, you check a couple of things. All your bags are still buckled. Your mattress looks undisturbed. Your straw mattress.
I guess it really doesn't matter. Like whether it was tampered with or not. Like I think Guthormr thinks it was with. It was like somebody was in here messing with my stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of like going through and I'm thinking about Alyssa and I'm like, she set me up and it's not like she set me up, I need to get out of here. It's she set me up, I need to kill this chick.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
Like she didn't take me seriously. So what's going to happen is I'm going to do what she wants me to do. I'm going to go to the woods because then she's in my territory. Like I'm I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator.
Right.
I'm also Conan. I'm also Han Solo.
You contain multitudes.
I contain exactly. Every cool dude I am is me. So, I'm going to beat her at her own game, and then I'm going to squeeze her head until it explodes. So that's the trajectory.
So you're also Roy Batty.
I'm also Roy Batty. I'm also the mountain.
Yeah.
I'm all of these. I am aspects. I'm the eternal champion.
You are. Well,
for the people who know. So
those in the know. No,
that's right. For the Eddie Murphy thinking meme.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So yeah, I'm telling Pinch, like, this is what happened. I'm pretty much at this point, I've like cemented myself with the Misfits.
Yeah.
Because I know now that I can't be going around town alone. Yeah. I've got to have people there to watch my back.
Yeah.
And Pinch
definitely reinforces that. He's like, streets aren't safe for you right now. You're actually probably safest in here because they're not going to come in on Alyssa's territory, looking for you or going to try and mess with you. But if you go outside, the minute you step outside, there's going to be guys on your ass right away.
Okay. I like that. And, I'm definitely grateful for Pinch being like, for telling me like the political climate, and just being like, hey, you're not from around here. Mm-hmm. Hellfire Club's on you. Hellfire Club. That's what I'm going to call it from now on, right? I guess. The Vipers are on boys. You. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're on you, but they're not going to come into here. This place is safe for you. But I also know I'm literally in the dragon's den. Mm-hmm. Like, Alyssa wants to hunt me down. She wants to kill me. And then before long, just like I said at the beginning of our first episode, my head's going to be on one of those pikes, I wanted to make sure that wasn't going to happen. And now that I know what causes it, which is Alyssa being like, hey, go find my pet. I'm like, I'm ready to put myself in harm's way and make sure that like nobody's head gets up there again. And then I can be the Al Swearingen of Badland.
Another one. All right.
So yeah, I don't want to say I want to be like, I'm not going to be King Conan. But can I be mayor of Badland? Maybe.
Maybe you'll replace Herb Berman.
I need to kill that dude.
I'll kill you last.
Her. Berman, if that is your real name.
Sounds made up to me.
So you got a mouthful of peanut butter? Come on. Okay, so yeah, I'm like catching Pinch up on this stuff, and I'm like, eventually, I imagine him just being like, like, hey, so like, are you in? And I'm like rifling through my bag, making sure all my bread and cheese is there, and I just like turn around and shoot him the glance, and I'm like, I'm in.
All right, so he gives you the whatever that tong is in Big Trouble in Little China, their little hand,
That's right.
Signal. And a nod, and he says, so you've let him in on your plan then, that you intend to lure Alyssa out into the wilderness and get the drop.
Yeah, I think so. I think I trust Pinch. Kenny trusts Pinch, and if Kenny does, I think Guthormr does too. Not that Guthormr and I have very much in common, but
you're both eternal champions, you know it.
That's right. We both have a very similar I mean, we have similar instincts. So because I'm playing him, so
that is how that tends to work. Yes,
that's how that works.
Yeah.
For those of you unaware of how to play role-playing games. Right. So I let Pinch in on the plan.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm gonna squeeze this lady's brains out. You watch, Pinch.
All right. Cool. So Pinch says that he can definitely call upon the other misfits to help you get out. In fact, I think what's our boy's name? Our scarecrow is named Old Crow, of course.
Old Crow, yeah.
Yeah. So Old Crow actually happens to be a wizard. And
although I don't trust that.
You don't trust like that.
Yeah. I mean, just like most barbarian. I mean, like I'm a barbarian very much in like the Conan ways, you know, like I'm not gonna like Hulk out and do something crazy. I'm just kind of mostly unaware of like most like civilizations and how they work.
Yeah, you're from the savage frontier.
I'm from the savage frontier. I'm a savage person, and I attack people with savage kung fu. And and things like the mystic arts tend to scare me, mostly because I think that like people have to do dark things in order to get that kind of power, you know?
All right.
Which is just reinforced by Hellfire coming out, you know, naked, covered in human skulls with blood all over him. I'm like, so this is how you get your power.
Yeah, exactly. All righty. Let's see here. It's an area. Okay, yeah. All right. So
also, I 100% I have gravity dice. That's how serious I am about my dice.
Holy shit.
But I have this really nice dice bag that came with them.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to get them out. I 100% put my dice bag in my paint pot water. And so like I put my arm down and it was like wet. And I was like, why is my arm wet? And then I looked over and the water has just been like flowing onto my painting table.
Great. Oh, so you created a weird little conduit. Wow.
Yeah.
Science.
I guess so. Hey, the more you know.
That sounds like some Rambo style survivalist shit right there. It's kind of
exactly right. I'm
up
like
the moisture and squeezing
fitting
it out.
the gasoline.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's see here. Just seeing what Old Crow is capable of doing here.
This episode brought to you by people like you.
In a part of the world where there are no rules.
We pick up their trail at the chopper, run them down, grab those hostages before anybody knows we were there. What do you mean we?
Deep in the jungle, where nothing that lives is safe.
You lose it here, you're in a world of hurt. Showtime, kid. Knock.
An elite rescue squad.
You're bleeding, man. I ain't got time to bleed.
Is being led by the ultimate warrior.
We need the best. That's why you're here.
But now,
What's got Billy so spooked?
there's something out there waiting for us. And it ain't no man. They're up against the ultimate enemy.
Holy Mother of God.
Nothing like it has ever been on Earth before.
She says the jungle just came alive and took him.
We cannot see it.
No blood, no bodies. We hit nothing.
But it sees the heat of our bodies and the heat of our fear.
Whatever it is out there, it killed Hopper. And now it wants us.
It kills for pleasure.
He was skinned alive!
It hunts for sport.
He's killing us one at a time.
We're all gonna die. But this time, it's picked the wrong man to hunt.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
20th Century Fox presents Arnold Schwarzenegger. Predator. The hunt begins Friday, June 12th at theaters everywhere.
All right, so basically, Pinch tells you to that he will go and fetch Old Crow.
Oh, wow.
Lay low, don't go anywhere. We're gonna help you out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm chilling in my room, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna set up because I'm skilled in ambushes
Mm-hmm.
and camouflage and stuff like that. I'm gonna make it look like I'm not here.
Mm-hmm.
So lights are out, window might even be open, just to be if somebody was he's not sleeping with the window open, he's escaped, he's gone somewhere. And then I'll probably end up putting a small barricade in front of my door. Just so if somebody does try to tamper with my door, it may not stop them from coming in, but at least it will I'll have an audio cue of the door hitting a chair, and then I can leap in front of the door and and bite into their face or something.
Bite their nose off, yeah. All right, cool. That all sounds good. You have the skills to do it. No need to roll.
Nope.
You get everything kind of set up, and you wait. And so, about an hour passes. It's probably getting on for midnight,
I was going to say, I'm probably getting sleepy.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. What's your physical endurance like? Is that decent?
Physical endurance is 18.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you are feeling sleepy, but you're perfectly capable of willing yourself to stay awake.
Okay.
And this part of town, like I say, this is kind of one of the nicer buildings in town, nicer parts of town. So it's pretty quiet outside through the open window. And then you hear little pebbles striking the walls around the window.
That's my guy. I kind of I position myself in a way where I can look out the window, but I'm not too obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm just looking for, old Crow and or Pinch.
Yeah. So indeed, you see by the starlight below, just barely, silhouetted amongst the shadows, a little rattling, and his cloaked companion who, judging by his size and gangly stature, can only be Old Crow.
Cool. I want them to come up here. So let me think here. I don't have a rope, so probably what I would have done because I know Pinch can make his way up here, but I don't know I can't imagine an animated scarecrow is very dexterous.
Yeah.
So while they were away, I probably took my sheets and blanket and knotted them together.
Yeah.
And made a makeshift pulley kind of rope where Old Crow can just kind of sit in a noose and I can wheel his ass up.
Fair enough. So you put your time to good use there, and you are ready when they show up, and therefore you're able to get them up into your room.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So soon enough, you're all gathered together. I assume you're still keeping the light off and all that.
Oh yeah, this is dark meetings, dark business.
All right. So, Old Crow whips off his cloak and looks you up and down, and he says, "Well, you certainly know how to make enemies in this town."
Well, I've never been too good at making friends.
Well, you have two right here.
I nod. I do exactly what I just did. I squint and nod.
All right.
But I'm
so he
thinking,
says-
oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so he says Pinch informs me that you have a plan to leave town. I think that's wise, although I'm not sure if what you intend to do outside of town is equally wise. But I'm not going to tell you what you can or cannot do.
Well, I don't find it too wise for a man made of straw to be picking fights with a guy named Hellfire.
Leave me, it keeps me up at night.
I sleep next to a bucket of water.
That explains the squirt bottle. Okay.
Right.
Always misting himself, you know.
Dabbing a wet rag on his head.
Yeah, like some southern gentleman. Oh Lord. Lordy Lord.
Another glass of lemonade, old crow. Yeah, so I'm kind of like now having seen Hellfire's, like, I mean, you know, they call him Hellfire for a reason. The dude spits hellfire out of his hands and mouth.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm like, this dude, he must have done something. He must have done something real bad for a scarecrow to want to go toe to toe with a dude who could just incinerate him. I mean, he's a wizard, but for me, I'm like, well, there's nothing, like, I haven't seen Old Crow do anything.
Yeah.
So I can't judge his power.
Yeah.
And I'm also like, well, you can't be that good of a wizard if like you're not running the streets.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's like Gandalf, right? You know, he's very rarely busts out those spells.
That's right. Some fireworks every now and again.
Every now and again, yeah.
Then some light, and everyone's like, ooh.
Oh, shit. Well, he's really good at keeping the crows away, I can tell you that.
Oh, good. Yeah, I haven't seen a single one since I've been here.
Now that you mention it.
Kind of a bad omen for me.
Okay, so he says we have tools at our disposal that will help you safely leave town without being noticed. And if you happen to survive, you are more than welcome to return. We are a small gang, as you know. And as I mentioned before, we are all victims of Hellfire's depredations. And
I'm eating some cheese while he's talking, by the way.
Okay, good. And now you are as well.
That's right. I stop. I like swallow a big bite of cheese and probably bread and maybe something else. And I look at Old Crow. And this motherfucker, he doesn't have eyes.
Nope.
So I'm like looking at a burlap sack, but like I'm looking at it with intensity. You know, I'm treating him like a dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm not just gonna survive. When I come back, I'm coming back for Hellfire.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah.
All right. I like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill Alyssa, and then I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna kill Hellfire.
Damn.
That's right. You didn't know the campaign was going to be like this, David.
This is some Quick of the Dead shit.
It is. I'm coming back. Coming back.
You're going to blow up the whole mansion.
Totally. I'm coming back, and I'm coming back with hell.
Yeah,
with me.
And Hellfire's coming with me. Wait a minute. No, he's going to be here. But I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the main thing you got to keep in mind.
Yeah, not Hellfire the guy, but the other kind. The kind that's
lowercase h. Lowercase h.
Everybody has access to this kind of Hellfire.
It's Hellfire if you really want it. Oh, shit. All right. So, very good. Yeah. So, basically, what Old Crow proposes is throw a good old-fashioned invisibility spell on you.
I don't like that, but I guess that's okay.
Sure, I don't like
I'm like, don't you have like a cart and a blanket?
it. No need for capers when you have magic.
Yeah. Okay. How long does this
say so?
Yeah. I'm like, well, you're sure. How long does this invisibility last?
Excellent question.
And can I kill anybody while I'm invisible?
So according to Old Crow, this spell will render you completely invisible, not just to normal sight, but even magical detection or even sense of smell will not be.
Oh, wow. OP.
There will be no footprints left behind in your wake.
Oh my God.
There will be no sound of your passage. And even those with the ability to penetrate invisibility spells will only see a ghost-like image of you.
Wow.
And
is Old Crow a demigod?
However, it could be. However, yes. The only thing that will break it is if you attack somebody.
Of course. Damn you, game designers.
Damn you, game balance.
Let me kill one person while invisible.
Yeah, you can kill 1d6 people.
I'd take it. Okay. Well, yeah, I nod and I say, when do we make the move?
As soon as you're ready.
I put my backpack on and I stand up, and I've got like a closed fist, and I bring it up to my face and open it, and inside is that little bone whistle. Yeah. And I look at it, and like my brow like thickens, and I close it again, and I've got like white knuckles, and I say, "I'm ready."
Nice. All right, so you have the invisibility cast upon you. I assume you're going out the window.
Oh yeah, I'm leaping out the window. You're not gonna stop me, David. I'm invincible.
Yeah, he's like, no, wait, you're not ethereal. You still have mass.
Jumping also cancels the invisibility.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, how do I recover hit points? I guess.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we haven't covered that
whole thing. It can vary somewhat by iteration of the Palladium system. So I'll just check. I know in some versions, recovering SDC is pretty fast. You just need to rest. Okay. And in fact, that period of you waiting for Old Crow to show up might actually have done the trick. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, not quite as quick in this version. 4 SDC points per day.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm only down 10, so I'm feeling pretty good. And I've got armor. So I'm okay. All right, yeah. I leap out the window. Oh well, I guess I lower them out the window. Okay, so this is order of operations here.
Okay, all right.
I lower them out the window.
Yeah.
I put a chair normally. Yeah, like I just leave my room kind of normal.
Yeah.
I lower them down. I take all the blankets and stuff like that, and I just like jam them into my backpack because I have 2 large sacks. So in one of the large sacks is now a bunch of tapestries and drapery tied together in a rope. Or really a noose. And yeah, I put them in there and I look around. I give the room another scan just to make sure I didn't forget anything and, that I got all my stuff. And then, yeah, I leap out the window.
All right. So you get to have your little badass moment there,
Right. Thank you.
And
I do a front flip and I do a 3-point landing.
3-point land, of course.
Yeah.
Gotta have the 3-point landing.
Even though I'm invisible and no one can see me. This is purely for me.
You make no sound, no mark upon the ground.
And they're like looking around and they're like, Guthormr, where are you?
Yeah.
I'm like,
have you joined us?
I'm right here.
So basically, if you recall, yeah. Oh God. So basically, if you recall, the mountains are to the north of town, and so that is where you were told to look for this serpent beast.
That's where I'm gonna go then.
And that is, presumably where Alyssa will be hunting for you.
Yeah, there we go. The hunting grounds. Oh, I'm totally gonna predator this shit up, dude. I'm gonna make traps and all kinds of outrageous shit.
Yeah.
And whoever, if it's her herself hunting me,
yeah,
like she's screwed. And if it's like, 10 guys, they're all screwed. And then I'm gonna throw their heads down at Alyssa's feet. And then while she's looking at him, leap and, crush her head with my hands.
So you're engaging all these bloody fantasies as you walk out
I am,
of town.
yeah.
Oh, and of course, when I say the mountains are north of town, I mean the mountains are south of town. I
was like looking through my notes. I was like,
no, of course, yeah. And you can just see them sort of darkly silhouetted at night, in the nighttime. After about 20 minutes of walking, which does get you out of town, the invisibility wears off. And
I can tell.
Oh yeah.
I guess I can look down and I feel
see
a tingling
yourself,
and I look down and I see my hands.
Yeah, exactly.
I still got the bone whistle in my hand and I grip it. And I yell, Alyssa! Not really.
I like the dramatic gripping though.
Totally, yeah. Thank you. I have to brood, because I know this whistle is this is what's going to summon her to me. So I got I'm on my own time. She's not going to come for me until I blow this whistle, which gives me all the time in the world to set up the 2 giant logs that are going to swing together and crush somebody's head.
Wow. Okay.
David, you didn't know we were going to.
Good. No, I like
you were going to be indulging
I like
all of my outrageous fantasies.
All of your outrageous survivalist 80s revenge movie fantasies.
Absolutely correct. If Conan was written in the 80s, this is exactly what it would be.
If Conan was a down on his luck Vietnam vet looking from town to town.
Conan, cut your hair.
Running up against the sheriff who pushes him just a little too far.
That's right. Crom.
Like Crom, I'll have my revenge.
Like Crom, they spilled first blood.
They spilled first blood.
It wasn't me, Crom. It wasn't me.
Crom's the name of your old commanding officer.
Exactly, Officer Crom.
Officer Crom. Daryl Crom.
Holy shit.
All right. So, shit. All right. So, anyways, up ahead, you're walking down this dirt trail towards the mountains, and up ahead there's a pretty large, gnarly old tree. The branches are completely bare of leaves. There's no leaves, and or any kind of vegetation on it, and it's very dramatic, kind of Warhammer-y tree, with the sweeping branches, as if there's a perpetual wind blowing,
right,
a
perpetual golden angle, or golden ratio,
exactly. And then kind of, so the trees next to the road, and then the branches kind of go out over the road, and sitting under the branches in the middle of the road And keep in mind, this is like at whatever a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
But just sitting there, just totally straight chilling, is a black cat.
Ooh. Is it the cat from the... It's not the cat from the bar, was it? From the Dragon's Den?
You would be willing to bet it was.
Uh-huh. And I recall Alyssa telling me that it was her sister's.
Mm-hmm.
But Kenny suspects magic. I'm sure Guthormr does not. He's like, cat.
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 You're looking well.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I stop.
Mm-hmm.
Or Guthormr stops and looks at the cat.
Mm.
And Guthormr, he's not like a mean guy, you know. I mean, he's not mean to animals.
Mm-mm.
And in fact, black cats probably good luck. Because they're only bad luck in America. And we ain't in America. So
Right.
I'm gonna lean down and I guess I have some cheese.
Sure.
Cats like cheese. So I'm gonna kneel down kind of on my haunches and get out some cheese from my bag and kind of hold it out in a gesture. And I'm not like, you know, I'm not like trying to call it over, but I am offering this cat some cheese in the grimmest way possible.
Grim cheese.
Grim cheese, dark offering.
May I offer you some grim cheese? So the cat is just sitting there looking at you, you know, in a very uncat-like way. You know, it's like it's studying you. And then you hear a woman giggling from somewhere up in the branches.
Ooh. Well, I dropped the cheese and stand up very quickly. And if I have the initiative to do so, I probably draw my dwarven made dagger. Or actually, no, if it's up in the tree, I draw my javelin from my back.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So I'm like ready to throw it.
Unsling that javelin,
Yeah.
Sure, no problem. You arm yourself and you look up, and yeah, you can see up amongst the dead branches of this tree, there's indeed a female form. She's kind of stretched out along a pretty thick branch, almost like Cheshire Cat style, you know. And she's looking down at you, you know, and her, you know, of course, she's like completely like shades of silver and gray and black in the moonlight. So you can't make out too many details other than her long hair, which is kind of spilling down, you know, and hanging below the branch a bit.
Nice.
And she just says, so you're off to kill the serpent beast.
I squint. And I relax a little bit, but I still, at a moment's notice, could like launch this javelin. I say, who goes there?
So at that, she kind of starts to roll backwards off the branch, and for a split second, you think she's just going to let herself fall, but then she catches herself, hangs for a moment, and then drops, you know, a more controlled fall.
Like
and,
catches a branch.
Yeah.
Okay. She's got sick moves then.
Indeed, she does.
Okay.
And she lands next to the cat, who doesn't even flinch or budge. Yeah, so she's wearing like a dark cloak of some kind, fastened by a rather elaborate brooch, and then she has like more jewelry, like a big sort of not quite a tiara, but you know, like one of those almost like hairnet kind of jewelry arrays.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
The jewels and the chains and everything, you know. Yeah, that's about all you can make out in the darkness. But studying her a little bit, you know, more clearly now that she's not obscured by the trees, You can see that she is indeed an elf.
Does she have raven black hair by chance?
Oh, yes, she does.
Hmm.
But definitely not Alyssa. Build's
Right.
different, you know.
I lower my guard just a little bit, but because I know Alyssa doesn't like her sister because she threw something at her cat.
Yeah.
But I don't, I trust zero hoes. So,
Right.
yeah, so I'm still ready to throw my javelin at this creature. But I say, you must be Miss Bad.
So she says, yes, I am Alyssa's kid sister, Sarah.
Okay.
And my master informs me
Mm.
that you know something that the other dupes didn't.
I don't want to show all my cards, but Guthormr's IQ is fairly low, so I'm gonna say, if you've come to collect me for Hellfire, you can tell him to go to hell.
Tell him to go back where he came from.
That's right, presuming that's hell.
Or Sheboygan. So she kind of blinks at you a couple times and then just throws her head back and starts laughing maniacally, which goes on for an uncomfortably long time.
I squint.
And eventually recovers herself. It's like, no. I Hellfire. My master. No, I answer to a much higher power than that. He knows all. He sees all. And he tells me that you're onto my sister and you intend to turn the tables on her. I just wanted to tell you I'm on your side. I'm rooting for you.
Interesting. Okay. I don't see this as like she's inviting herself to help me in any way. Because she's just like, woohoo, go Guthormr.
Go you, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, so I guess I look at her and I don't squint quite as hard, but I say, wish to see your sister dead so quickly, do you?
She says, you have no idea how long I've been waiting.
Who is your master?
That's a secret for now. But if you do well, I can introduce you. He can give you power too.
The only power I like is the one that I make my own. If someone gives you power, they can take it away.
Not if you sign the right sort of pact.
I would like to make some kind of demons and monsters lore.
I think
check.
that's fair. Yeah. Add
What
your
kind
IQ to that as well.
Okay. Does it have to?
Hey, every point counts.
Okay, I got a 66. Nice.
Almost nice, yeah.
I know, almost nice, but thematic.
Actually, you're right. Quite so.
Plus 7. I'll take a -1 for a 66 plus 6. But instead, it's a 66 plus 7, which is 73 or something.
73 plus your demon and monster lore skill.
Oh, that's right. 35. So
Okay,
100 and something.
100 and something. Yeah. Okay. Good.
108.
Yeah.
Nobody, if you're listening to this, don't judge me.
Yeah. Don't check our math, please. We don't want.
That's right. Just guess. Just guesstimate.
Ballpark it. All right. So, yeah, you're pretty sure she's a witch. Witches in the Palladium world are these are not Wiccans. These are not, friendly neo-pagans of any variety. These are your classic cackling, signing your soul away to some kind of demon or devil lord witch.
Sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they usually get some kind of host of powers in exchange. That means that cat is almost certainly her familiar, which means it is almost certainly a demon in cat form.
Which means it's almost certainly covered in teats.
Oh, yes.
I look for those immediately. Start scanning everything for teats.
Right. Targeting reticule comes up.
That's right. I pull out my wooden stake and put on my tall hat.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you didn't reckon on the witch smeller, did you?
That's my next character. When Guthormr eventually lights himself on fire and jumps off a cliff.
The witch smeller pursuant.
That's right. Okay, yeah. So I definitely don't like this now. Yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess I'm just looking at her. I recognize that she's signed her soul away.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm gonna say, what did you get for selling your soul?
So she smiles at you and she says, only everything I ever wanted, except one thing. And that is what you can deliver to me, the death of my sister.
I don't want to give this chick everything she wants.
If you can deliver that to me, bring me Alyssa's head, and you will never want for anything. You can rule at my side, and we can build an empire.
Dude, oh God, really forward. Calm down, lady.
Just haven't even, Jesus Christ.
Haven't even had dessert yet. I get it. Lockdown was hard. Yeah. So, do I know? Can witches read minds?
It's entirely possible. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm trying not to think about delivering Alyssa's head to her and then like squeezing her head and then killing that cat. I should have killed that cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now I'm like, I'm gonna keep my cheese. I'll never want for anything, huh?
Yep.
Well, you know what? I think Guthormr is just like, I am no one's pawn,
Mm-hmm.
Like my gods are cold and hard, and you have to be cold and hard to believe in them. And I hunt monsters. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
Right. Oh boy.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I just like, I hoist my javelin and I'm like, I'm going to kill her someday. It's not going to be today.
Right.
I've got other things to do. I've got a whole battlefield to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
Heads to squash.
Yeah.
So I've got to
squash like grapes. Yeah.
That's right. I've got to make moves. So, and I'm getting like tired now because it's like the early morning. I'm sure it's the witching hour, if you will.
Maybe.
So yeah, I'm just gonna like hoist my javelin back on my shoulder and start walking. And I'm gonna like try to make my way by her.
Okay.
But like I am gonna say as I'm passing her, careful what you wish for. Yeah. Because you get your sister's head, and soon yours is going to be right next to hers, deflated and without a brain.
Wow. So specific.
As deflated as you can make a skull. That's my goal.
All right. So you fire off a little, careful what you wish for as you walk past her, and this is met with more raucous cackles that follow you into the dark of the night as you make your way towards the Bruga Bellamar mountains, the bones of Bellamar.
That's right.
The dead god. Who knows what wonders await you? Who knows what kind of psychotic Viet Cong style traps you will set? We'll find out all that and more in the next episode.
Jesus.
Who knows what kind of tiger pits you will dig?
Exactly.
But yeah, great session.
Yeah, amazing. I was very happy with how everything is going.
Good.
Yeah, it's funny. Like it's hard, obviously as a forever DM.
Yes.
It's like it's hard to be like, okay, I'm going to play this character, and then you start playing the character, and you're like, this isn't really how I anticipated this guy being.
Yeah.
Guthormr is 100% who I wanted him to be.
Nice.
So I'm very happy about that, and I love that he's kind of like brooding and kind of quippy and reckless and completely outrageous.
Yeah. But he feels appropriate for the area, because I think anyone who's going to survive in this kind of environment has to kind of be like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just being out in the place is called Badland. So like you can't, it doesn't breed soft people.
No.
And it's like, for me, it's like this town needs, I don't want to say cleansing, more like taming.
Yeah.
And I think Guthormr is a monster hunter, and right now the monster is Badland.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
that's deep.
Yeah, it's deep. So and it's like Badland is a symptom of all these pieces. Alyssa Bad, her sister being a witch, even down to that disgusting dog man mayor.
You hate him so much.
I have to. I rolled it. So
I think it's more than just the dice roll. Let's be honest.
That's right. And then in Hellfire and all these they're criminal elements, and Guthormr doesn't really care that they're breaking the law.
Yeah.
The problem is that they've become a monster of the area. Yeah. And they're like the town itself, of course, charged by Alyssa, who is in charge of all these other pawns.
Yeah.
And schemes, is like luring in people like me and preying upon them, just like a dragon would in a cave. And instead of a princess kidnapped, we have a chest full of gold. Which is exactly what people like me are after. So I'm excited to kill Alyssa. I'm excited to kill Alyssa, and then probably, I don't know, maybe her sister right after that, and then go back for Hellfire. I'll have to figure out my order of operations here.
You've got a long list.
I've got a long list. It's growing every day, David.
Really Wyatt Earping it up over there.
I really am. I'm just trying to. Again, it's not like bringing. Well, I'll say that it's not about bringing law. It's about bringing order.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe where Guthormr is. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of a barbarian, so
I can see that though. I can see that because you're unprincipled, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm gonna look at my character sheet.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a schemer. I'm definitely scheming. It may seem not like somebody's like, I don't know if that's a scheme, but I mean, violent fantasies. I'm scheming, buddy.
That's a scheme.
Digging tiger pits and
so
Ewok traps to
Ewok traps. So yeah, I think you are definitely. alignment in Palladium, it's not like we talked about during character
Mm-hmm.
creation. It's not like cosmic alignment, right? It's more like
Right.
your personal code.
It's
So
not
I don't
Elric style.
right. I don't view it as a straitjacket. It's just more like a, sort of like here are some guidelines, for how you might want to play your character. But I think you're hitting all the notes even without.
Okay, cool.
Because just as unprincipled characters have a high regard for life and freedom.
There we go.
And keep their word of honor, but they also dislike authority.
Oh,
right?
perfect.
So,
yeah,
yeah,
it's exactly me.
Yeah, exactly. So, and they help those in need. Never harm an innocent. Stuff like that. But they will lie and cheat if necessary, especially to those of evil alignments. So
I think I've hit all those.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've got the whole gamut. You do. And I made that comment earlier about Al Swearingen. I kind of see that as Guthormr, like right now. I mean, who knows where he's going to end up? Mm-hmm. But right now, that's kind of his goal. Because is just to be like, all right, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to kill all the people that I don't like.
Yeah.
Who are doing things the way that I don't like them to be done. And and like luring people in and like manipulating people just for like sport. I don't like that.
No.
So if I can, squish all these people's brains and then install myself as like, not really, I'm not, like I said, I don't want to be like mayor of Badland. Like because I don't want the responsibility and I don't see myself as a leader. I see myself more as a liberator.
Right. Okay.
And Badland needs liberating. And so like, if that does happen, I will probably, or Guthormr is like, hey, you know what? Like I'll just like post up shop and, kill monsters for money or whatever. Yeah. And then, we'll have like a little town council that gets together of like all the shop owners and that kind of thing. And we'll collectively make the decisions. And then, then Badland will rebrand and get a Department of Commerce and
yeah. So you want to turn it into a commune, basically.
Exactly. If I could turn it into a hippie commune where I'm not the leader, but everyone's afraid of me. That's okay.
You want to be most feared among equals.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. Perfect way to say it.
Reasonable. Well, I'm glad you've got plans. Okay. So last thing is experience points.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
last time I got 475.
Well, you got more this time.
Oh, good.
And I think 475 that's going to get you close to second level, maybe not quite, but
I can feel it.
You racked up 1,350 this time.
Oh my god. How did I get that?
Well, you performed a lot of skills. You get XP for skill performance. You had a lot of interesting ideas, which gives you XP. I gave you some XP for your critical plan or action that saved your own life. There's also a critical plan or action that saves a group or many people, which is worth considerably more. But you came up with your escape plan on the fly there. I thought that was good. You had some deductive reasoning, good judgment. I gave you lots of playing in character XP as well, and you showed some daring. So all those things.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. Dude, as a player, that feels great. Yeah. Because like I am playing how I think Guthormr should be, which is, like I said, reckless and insane.
Yeah.
And and it's cool that like the system rewards me for doing that.
Yes, exactly.
It's not just like, it's not like, oh, you killed a monster, here's 20 XP.
Exactly. I mean, you can get XP for killing or subduing menaces, as they call them.
Right.
But I mean, that's literally like 3 entries, and the list of possible XP awards is like 15 items long. I mean, it's like 1/5 of the possible ways you can earn XP. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's my favorite. Like if I'm going to do a class level XP kind of classic old school system, like this is the way to do it, not just killing things and taking their stuff,
I agree. Because as a player, I feel rewarded for playing a character,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you should be able to, level up your character, even if you have several like role play heavy sessions in a row. It shouldn't be stagnating your level progression,
it's crazy to me too. I totally forgot about leveling up. Because normally I don't play games where I level up.
Same here,
or I don't play sessions. I don't play enough games where I do get to level up.
Yeah.
So right now, Guthormr is like, I'm like, ooh, this is peak power for Guthormr. Thinking that he's going to get stronger.
I know, right?
Like, I can't, like, I'm going to be Matthew McConaughey in Reign of Fire when he just like jumps into a dragon's mouth with an axe.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It didn't work out for McConaughey, but who knows? For
Well, he just wasn't high enough level. That's probably.
That's exactly right. He was level 1 and he should have been level 2.
Yeah, he forgot that he could still level.
Yeah.
All right. So what does that bring you to total?
I think total is 1825.
All right. You are 75 points away from leveling.
So dude, can I do some push-ups or something?
I know, right? You'll get it next time for sure.
Okay. Well, let me write that down. 1825.
Yeah. Yeah, because you need 1900, I believe it was.
I was gonna say, I think I remember you saying that last time that I needed somewhere around 1900.
Yeah.
Cool. And does XP stack? Like, will I always have, or does it reset to 0 when I reach level 2?
No, it stacks.
Okay, cool.
And it's your classic like exponential progression.
Right.
So eventually it's like, in order to level up, you have to earn as many XP as you've earned up till that point for all of your levels.
Oh my God.
You know, it slows down after, like, technically Palladium characters can go up to level 15.
Okay.
That almost never happens in the history of Palladium games, you know.
Just wait, Dan.
You know, a decent, like, you know, the equivalent of like a high level character in D&D would be like 7th or 8th level in Palladium. So
okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I guess, and I think you and I have talked about this before, but like once you get to a certain power level and you're like fighting gods and shit like that, like, yeah, I'm not really, I don't think that's my character trajectory ever. Like, will Guthormr ever, like, you know, go to hell and like fight the devil? It sounds outrageous enough for Guthormr, but like he would probably try to do it right now, you know, like not really when he has the power. And I don't even see Guthormr's lifespan that lasting that long. Like he might become like old King Conan one day, but I mean, by then his liver's given out and
right.
Guys, some really mundane death. Like this.
Well, and that is the cool thing about the Palladium system as well, is that leveling up, I mean, you do unlock certain things, but it's not like, you know, oh, right, now I can finally do my shape shifting or whatever. Like usually you get the cool powers up front, and then leveling up just gives you more hit points, gives you more competency on your skills, increased, you know, combat bonuses, you know, which is nice, right? I mean, it's like actual experience. It's not like tiering out new levels of powers. Exactly. And I mean, that's even cooler. Yeah, like for instance, the way magic works, anyone, you know, if you're a first level wizard and you somehow get access to like a 10th level spell, you probably won't have the points to cast it because it's like a mana point system basically. Mm-hmm. You probably won't have the points to cast it, but if you can figure out how to get those points, like, you know, leading a ritual on summer solstice, you know, at a grand conjunction kind of situation, you can cast it. There's nothing saying, you know, a first level character can't cast a 10th level spell. You just have to figure out how to do it, you know. So, that's cool. I like that. Yeah. That's good to know. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, obviously, I don't know anything about Palladium. I'm learning as we're playing. Sure. Which is a lot of fun. And I think that's like probably one of my favorite ways to play a role-playing game because I don't know what's possible. Yeah. So I can actually play out these like ridiculous fantasies and and just kind of going nuts and being like that's what I said I'm going to do. Like, you tell me what actually happens and we'll roll some dice and see. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's it sums up the Palladium philosophy pretty well. So awesome. You've come to the right place. Shout out to Palladium. Yes, indeed. Thank you for for hacking AD&D and making it dope. Mm-hmm. Thanks. Shout out to David Larkins for homebrewing the shit out of it. Yeah, exactly. Getting it into some kind of form that I can run and not completely tear my hair out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like that's how you know though, like when you like hate something with like a passion,
Yeah.
and then you like fucking kill yourself trying to make it good.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, like I have driven Desiree to the brink of madness, like ranting about Palladium so many times. She's like, why are you still engaging with this thing? Like
Right.
it clearly makes you nuts. I'm like, yeah, but I have to keep pushing with it. I have to keep going.
Dude, it's gotten to the point where I muted on Twitter D&D and 5e.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm like I can't look at it anymore because like
engage with it. Yeah.
I can't engage with it because if I do, I'll spend all my free time trying to fix it and being like, ooh, what about corruption mechanics? D&D needs good corruption mechanics. And then I'll spend way too long making something stupid that nobody cares about. And so I had to mute it and walk away from it, which I'm not mad about.
No, you got to do that sometimes. I've definitely spent many years away from Palladium games, and then I come back to them. So
yeah.
Actually, my entry point this time around was actually listening to a podcast called Mega Dumbcast, which is a daily podcast that goes through every season is like a different Palladium rule book, and every day is they find the dumbest thing on the page of that book. They just start on page 1 and they go through the whole book.
Oh,
so
wow.
and they've never failed to not find something dumb on a page. So. And so, but the guy who does it clearly also, loves Palladium games, or
right, yeah,
like that's what he grew up on, and so it's more just coming from the same kind of thing where it's just like, oh my god, like some of the stuff is like so fucking bad, and other things it's like it's just hilarious, it's like, wow, this is dumb, but in a really funny, entertaining way. So
right, yeah, I mean, it's just like the dumping out the chamber pot.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous. There's some kind of like math equation floating around your head that keeps you like rolling that result.
I know. It's so weird.
But it all comes from like a place of like, I love that. Like you have to laugh at stuff like that when you really love something.
Exactly. Yeah. Although the chamber pot tables are from another older product. What is it called? It's not Palladium affiliated. It is copyright 1981, and it's just called Cities. It's from an old company called Midikemia Press. So anyway, it's a pretty cool old book about, just full of random tables to roll on to generate city encounters.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
Oh, hell yeah, for sure. All right. Well, we'll call it a night and
awesome.
do it again.